It's been since 2016 that Marantz has released reference quality 2-channel products with the PM10 and SA10. Today, we're excited to see they've made the return to reference quality audio with their new Model 10 integrated amplifier, SACD 10 CD player, and Link 10N streamer. In this video, we're going to take a deep dive into these units and uncover everything that they have to offer. Now let's get started. When people talk about high-end audio, the name Marantz always comes up. They've got a serious legacy with a reputation for not only making high-quality products with great sound for over 70 years, but also having an incredible design and hand-selected materials in their products. To this day, they continue their legacy by designing and building world-class audio units while attempting to transform and push the boundaries of what is capable in the audio world. Now, their new 10 series reference collection is a perfect example of this, being designed and engineered in their Shirakawa, Japan facility. Now, they've spent years researching and developing these state-of-the-art units with excellent materials in a design that holds true to the core fundamentals of the Marantz legacy, making them the finest pieces of equipment that they've ever built. Plus, Marantz's sound master, who has decades of experience under his belt, has made sure these new units hold true to the warm and inviting sound that Marantz is known for. Alright, let's dive right in and first take a look at the Model 10 integrated amp. This beast of amplifier beauty takes some architectural notes from the previous PM10, such as it's still a purely analog integrated amp with no DAC, no HEOS, with analog input and speaker output, making it a purist piece. But other than that, that's about it. Everything else has been completely redesigned. The front panel has taken on the new Marantz look that we've seen in the Cinema series, which we just love. It's a really simple yet elegant layout with just a source selector, volume knob, and the classic circular window, which is now a high-res TFT display in the middle that shows you the standard volume, input, or any engaged special modes. Now, when you turn the input selector, the display switches through the input selections with a positive click that emulates how vintage Marantz amplifiers feel and sound when you're actually switching. Now, Marantz also has added a special view meter mode that, when engaged, will bring up 2 separate digital view meters for each channel. Now, outside of the front panel is the same specially surfaced aluminum that we enjoyed in Marantz's other amplifiers, except it's much thicker and way more substantial. And the backlights on the top and bottom of the inner front panel just give it that almost floating look, similar to the Marantz Cinema series line. Now, we have come to expect this clean front panel from Marantz, but seeing the Model 10 in person is still just on a whole nother level. In addition, there is also a headphone jack on the front that Marantz rates at 130 milliwatts at 32 ohms. While this will happily power some lower impedance, high sensitivity headphones, if we were being really nitpicky, which we think we're allowed to be at the price point this unit's at, we do wish Marantz would have included a slightly stouter headphone amplifier in the Model 10 for fans of higher impedance or planar magnetic headphones that often need much more power into high impedance to perform at their best. However, again, we're really nitpicking here, and headphone jacks seem to be missing on many newer high-end products anyway, so we do applaud them for including it and its HDAM SA2 Plus diamond buffer amplifier circuit. Now, this Model 10 is available in black or the Marantz champagne finish, both which are really appealing choices depending on your other gear and your room. The copper-plated, triple-layered chassis side covers are up to 15.8 millimeters thick at its max and a 6 millimeter thick top cover. The front and back panels are machined aluminum over copper plating, which helps with electrical isolation. The bottom panel is triple layer copper plated, which is very expensive and helps with some electrical isolation. Now, some of the internal parts are also copper plated, like the transformer cover. Marantz is so proud of the internal design of the Model 10 that they have even installed internal lighting that lets you turn on a little light on side in the amplifier to show off all of the internal parts. Plus, the Model 10 and the other units in this series are quite large, but that provides ample room for cooling inside. And the Model 10 even comes in at almost 75 pounds. Now, moving to the inside of the Model 10, there are 3 total power supplies, 2 switch mode supplies, one for each amplification channel, and another separate supply for the other circuitry inside the unit. There are also separate internal structures for the high voltage amplification circuits and the low voltage circuits. These compartments are fully shielded to prevent interference or distortions from creeping in. Again, there are no DACs or other streaming or processing components in the Model 10. The space is concentrated on allowing the perfect component layout for combining the best sound and electrical isolation. Now, the Model 10 also features two newly developed amplifiers operating in a dual mono setup, created in collaboration with the renowned Danish company Purify, known for its top-tier Class D amplification technology. Instead of simply using off-the-shelf components from Purify, Marantz actually partnered with them to co-develop a customized Purify Class D amplifier topology and a bridged tied load configuration tailored to specially fit Marantz's exacting standards. True to its Purify-based design, the amp delivers incredibly low distortion. Marantz claims a total harmonic distortion of just 0.05% across the full audio spectrum at maximum power and even better performance at half power. And at 30 amps of peak current, the dynamic range should be more than sufficient. Marantz also notes that the amp's frequency response remains consistent regardless of the load impedance. Now, the preamp section has also been completely redesigned, incorporating the latest version of Marantz's proprietary HDAM, or Hyperdynamic Amplifier Module, analog circuit units. This tech, which Marantz debuted in 1992, is engineered to strike the ideal balance between speed of response and transparency of signal. The new all-discrete HDAM setup in the Model 10 will surpass all previous versions, ensuring the amplifier continues to deliver the rich, musical sound that Marantz is known for at a higher standard. Okay, so this Model 10 is a fully balanced design with two balanced inputs, a balanced preamp output, and a balanced power amp input. RCA jacks are also provided for the preamp output and the power amplifier input for flexibility. Now, there are 3 sets of RCA inputs for any sources that use legacy connections as well. And for fans of old school recording inputs and outputs, the Model 10 has those as well. This allows you to connect a tape deck or any other recording device with RCA level connections to the Model 10. It's also worth mentioning that every RCA jack on the Model 10 uses a very high quality nickel-plated RCA terminal. This allows the absolute best audio transmission without tarnishing like copper or brass over time. Now, the Model 10 speaker outputs feature 2 sets per channel for multiple pairs of speakers, or the ability to bi-wire your main speakers. While bi-wiring is necessary for excellent performance, some speaker systems will benefit, and it is nice to know that that's an option. Also, for vinyl fans, the Model 10 features a built-in phono preamp with a single input that is adaptable to moving magnet or moving coil cartridges. However, we do wish Marantz had provided a little more tunability concerning moving coil loading, since there are some MC cartridges that do require some unique tuning. Now, in addition, the Marantz floating control bus system is a unique feature only on select Marantz models. FCBS is a system that connects multiple, or up to 4 Model 10s, with one acting as the control center. This allows users to configure a complete bi-amp system with 4 Model 10s, one acting as an integrated amplifier controller, and the other 3 as power amplifiers. Now, doing the math, that's about 4,000 watts of power on tap into 4 ohms. Also, with the Link 10N streamer that we'll discuss shortly, which has a preamp built into it, you can connect it up as the control center streamer with up to 4 Model 10s for a super high power digital system that can power any speaker system on the planet in any room. Also, if you are a fan of separates, the Link 10N and Model 10 combination will give you the ability with the FCBS system. Now, Link 10N becomes a high quality streamer preamp, and the Model 10 is the power amplifier. Now, that Marantz Model Link 10N that I just mentioned is the brother component to the Model 10 and provides a flagship level streamer to the series. Now, this streamer has HEOS, which makes it compatible with Spotify, Deezer, Tidal, Napster, TuneIn, SoundCloud, and MoodMix, as well as Chromecast compatibility, which will add even more services that are available. Now, you can listen to tracks directly from your phone, tablet, or a USB drive. With Marantz wanting to make HEOS the best streamer platform around, they will also be adding more services in the future. Now, the Link 10N will be Roon ready right when it comes out, so Roon users will be covered too. Now, there's also a full color OLED display on its front panel with the same input and volume knob as the Model 10. The power button and headphone jack are also in the exact same location as the Model 10, so both products maintain continuity with their look and their function. From the triple layer aluminum chassis to the copper plating and original PCB boards, the Link 10N is designed and built like the Model 10 in terms of sound quality and electrical isolation. It is built in that same factory in Shirakawa, Japan, to the same exacting standards as the Model 10. The back panel is fully featured and connects all of your other digital sources, which has coax, 2 Toslink, USB, and digital outputs in coax and Toslink. Now, with an Ethernet cable to connect to your network and HDMI ARC to connect to your TV, the Link 10N can be your complete music system and TV sound source. There are both balanced and RCA output connections to connect to an integrated amplifier just like the Model 10. While all these options are plentiful and would make an excellent addition to any system, Marantz wanted the Link 10N to have more flexibility and features than other streamers around. With the addition of a full preamp functionality, the Link 10N is more like a high-end preamp with streaming ability. It also has a full moving magnet, moving coil phono preamp, and a set of RCA or balanced analog inputs for any analog source. The analog preamp outputs are offered in RCA and are balanced, featuring a complete HDAM quality preamp circuit inside. Now, Marantz has quoted this new HDAM module as the cleanest and lowest distortion HDAM module they have ever created and will make a fine quality preamp for just about any amplifier. Now, the other cool thing about this being a preamp and streamer is the ability to pair with the Model 10 and SACD 10 to make a high-end, fully functional, all Marantz system. With Marantz's floating control bus system that we talked about earlier, the Link 10N can become a fully featured control unit. This allows users to use 1 or up to 4 Model 10s in a no-holds-barred system that can power about any speaker made today. Now, Marantz has also developed its own DAC called the Marantz Musical Mastering DAC, which is in the Link 10N and the SACD 10. This DAC uses a proprietary system that converts digital audio to analog through a series of steps, including up conversion and filtering. It's received praise from some knowledgeable folks in the industry. It also handles up to 32-bit, 384 kHz sampling rate PCM and DSD up to 11.2 MHz. Now, moving on. For music lovers, there's nothing like having a physical copy of your music. CDs and SACDs are still cherished today by so many people. Marantz thought of you as well in their efforts for reference level components. The SACD 10 is first and foremost a CD and SACD player, but Marantz is taking things to a reference level using their SACD M 3-disc transport. The same aluminum and copper plated triple layer chassis that the Model 10 and Link 10 also have is here in the SACD 10. This player also has the same upgraded Marantz Musical Mastering DAC inside, and it's the best CD and SACD player that Marantz has ever built. But the functionality does not end there. On the back panel, there's also a complete set of digital connections like the Link 10N, which also allows you to use the SACD 10 as a standalone DAC for any of your digital music collections that are on hard drives or connected via Toslink, coax, or USB. The SACD 10 also has coax and Toslink outputs should you need them. Now, the Marantz Musical Mastering DAC supports the same 32-bit, 384 kHz sampling rate PCM and DSD up to 11.2 MHz as the Link 10N, as the DAC inside in it is the same as the Link 10. And the new upgraded HDAM circuits are also in the inputs and outputs of the SACD 10, just like the other 10 series components, to make sure the analog sound coming from the SACD 10 is on par with the digital. Now, Marantz wanted this to be the best CD SACD player that they could build, so just like the Model 10 and Link 10N, all of the circuits in the chassis are regulated in their own subsections of the chassis, which are electrically isolated from any other circuits. Now, one thing that we do have to mention is that while all 3 components are designed and built to the highest of standards, we can't help but mention some redundancy here. The Model 10 is an integrated amplifier with a high-level phono stage within it, but the Link 10N also has a phono preamp within it. Now, we know that the Model 10 becomes more of a power amplifier when connected to the Link 10N, but having a phono stage in both seems a little bit counteractive. Also, when using the Link 10N as a preamp, turning the Model 10 into a power amplifier will offer future growth, but it makes the controls on the Model 10, again, a little bit redundant as well. Now, while we do not doubt each of these components offers supreme performance, all of this could end up confusing a buyer on what they truly need. So what we really recommend to do is to talk to one of our experts at audioadvice.com if you're considering one or all of these Marantz pieces. Now, we can walk you through the setup and help you decide which one or which pieces would be best for you. Plus, if you have a local Marantz dealer near you where you can go and experience these in person before purchasing, we'd highly recommend doing that. You can also stop by any of our award-winning showrooms where you can experience gear like this and any other gear, and then chat with our experts about what the best solutions for you would be. We can help you build a system that will be perfect for you in your room. Now, having these units in our hands for testing has definitely allowed us to get a good feel for what Marantz was ultimately going for. They have absolutely outstanding craftsmanship and excellent high-end components, making them the best Marantz pieces that they've ever made. We definitely don't doubt that. Now, we think that at this price point, you'll start to open up a lot of options out there for powering your speakers. But if you love the Marantz sound and history behind their great company, these will be a great option for you. Again, if you really are considering one of these units, please chat with one of our experts at audioadvice.com or just give us a call and our team can help you be among the very first to get one of these units in your hands. Plus, when you purchase any of your gear through us, you'll have our passionate team of support experts that live and breathe all things audio and video to help you with your setup or any questions that you may have while owning one of these products. So I hope this video has given you a good overview of what each unit can do and what the features and technology inside each one of them are. And if you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and turn on the notifications so you don't miss out on any of our exclusive new product launches, home theater tours, DIY tips and tricks videos, and so much more. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.